Hi, I'm Nick Shell, and I'm here to help other husbands out. Maybe you're recently married, maybe you're about to get married, and you're looking for some advice. Because man, when you first get married, you're just kind of clueless. You think you know more than you need to know, or you think you know enough is what I'm trying to say. But then when you really get into it, you're like, wow, I wish I just had someone to just break this down for me. Well, in this video, as my other two husband videos do, that's what we're gonna talk about. And this one's a little bit more lighthearted, but not really. And I'll explain all that. And this won't take too long. It's a pretty simple concept. Here it is. Your wife is pretty. You're not. Again, your wife is pretty. You're not. And here's what I mean by that. I'm introducing you to a double standard here. And I guess I need to do a separate video talking about how as a husband, you just got to be ready to accept double standards for the rest of your life. Okay, but that's a separate video. This video is about how obviously your job as the husband is every day, every morning, every night, is to always remind your wife of how beautiful she is. And especially when she's wearing something new, to always acknowledge that it's something new and that she looks great in it. That's your job. Your job is to make sure that she knows that you think she's the most beautiful woman in the world every single day. Now that's a given. You already knew that. Okay, here's the flip side of it. Here's where it can get a little bit complicated. Whereas it's your job to praise her and how beautiful she is, that's not her job for you. Now, as men, I don't think most of us are needing someone to tell us that we look handsome or that we're good looking or all that. Like, I don't need that. That's not important to me. And it's funny because even like when my wife and I met, I guess it was a little over 9 years ago. But she, obviously the first thing I noticed was how beautiful she was. That's the very first thing I noticed. And check this out. We were friends for 4 months before we actually started dating. And she told me she never saw me that way as far as being attractive or handsome or anything until I asked her out on a date. Can you imagine that? The whole entire time, from the moment I saw her, I thought, wow, she's so beautiful. And she never thought of me that way until I asked her out. So imagine that. It kind of shows you to a large degree, I think for the most part, I'd say most women, it just shows you that they're not attracted to us the same way we're attracted to them, especially initially. You know, she fell in love with my personality, my ability to always have interesting things to say. She told me that. That's what worked for me as far as, you know, getting her to go out with me originally and all that. But never with my looks. So with that being said, women it's not their job to praise how we look. Now, granted, if you put on a nice shirt and you fix your hair real nice and you're going somewhere nice, she'll probably say, oh, well, you look handsome, right? That's about all you're ever gonna get, and why would you even want anything more than that? But with all that being said, the opposite's gonna happen. What you need to be ready for is for her to actually say things to you that are actually critical. Now remember, this is an ongoing theme here in these videos to husbands, and that is that you have to be ready for double standards. And one of those is you love constructive criticism. You love becoming a better person. She hates constructive criticism. Most women do not want it, and you're only causing a fight if you try to ever give her constructive criticism. Just don't even try. It's a waste of your time. And it's just going to make matters worse for you. With that being said, expect your wife to give you constructive criticism on how you look. And you just got to take it like a man and just be grateful for it. And it may not even be constructive. She may say, oh, I see some gray hairs. And you got to laugh about it and say something like, well, you're stuck with me. You know, something like that. Laugh it off. When she says something that would otherwise be insulting if someone else said it to you, if she says it to you, you laugh about it and you make a joke about it. And what that's going to do is it's going to make her like you even more despite that. Because really what she's saying, if she says, oh, I noticed those gray hairs you got there, and I'm just using that as a generic example, what she's saying is, I see that you've got gray hair. You didn't have that when we first met, but you know what? I love you anyway. I don't care about that because I'm not judging you on your looks. I'm not here. I don't love you because of your looks. And I think that's something we have to remember. Our wives don't love us because of our looks, whereas there shows a double standard on our end that so much of our attraction to our wives is how they look. So as far as this double standard thing, that's one that actually, that's a point for them on that one, right? So when it comes to her criticizing your looks, laugh about it and know that she's saying, I love you anyway, and I don't even care about that because I love you. That's how that's interpreted. So obviously, you'll never ever say anything that that's less than complimentary to her looks. You'll never even say anything neutral. You'll only praise her when it comes to how she looks. But expect for her to tell you when you look handsome occasionally, not every day like you do for her that you tell her she's beautiful. But expect more than anything, just be ready for those times when it seems like she's picking at you. Your response is to not be offended, because we talked about in another video. You have to get to the point where your wife cannot offend you. And I guess I might have to make a whole separate video just about that if I haven't already. So just laugh about it, and that's the end of it, and know that she loves you, and you continue telling her how beautiful she is. Okay, so that's very important that you know that. You may have already knew it, but I think it actually took me a couple years to really fully grasp that. I hope that makes sense. Let me know if you got questions. I'm here to help other guys out. This is stuff you wouldn't necessarily hear from other people in the real world, but here in my corner of the internet, you can hear stuff like this, because I'm here to help other dudes.